Hi, good morning, my dear student. Today we are going to start class 12th history, chapter 9, Kings and Chronicles. The Mughal court from 6th century to 17th century. Especially, we have focused the 100-year history of the Mughal Empire. Dear student, before we start this chapter, I would like to remember you that that is a very common word, Mughal. Kings and Chronicles, the chapter, the very important thing, the Mughal and Mughal courts. We are going to discuss about the Mughal emperors and the Mughal courts. And we will also read about the opportunities of the Mughal emperors. In this session, we have discussed the post Mughal rulers, and their work. My dear, the chapter name is all here. In the headings mention the chronicles. Chronicles, that is a very important resource to inform the particular king and their opportunities. In the courts, there were so many courtyards, there are so many peoples. Even the government official appointed to write the chronicles day by day. They wrote everything what happened in the court. When we will say, when we will read the Akhbari Darbare Mullah, then you can easily understand that what is the meaning of that. Autobiographies. The Babur, the founder of the Mughal Empire, wrote their autobiography in Turkish language. He discussed there various most important information about India, about beyond the Indian rulers also. He explained in the autobiography about the climates, about the Indian rulers. They were contemporary. If you remember my previous class where I had discussed Krishnadev Raya, Babur impressed so much Krishnadev Raya, and he wrote in his autobiography that Krishnadev Raya was the prominent and most powerful king, the Hindu king in India. During that time, during his time, he revealed that seven prominent and powerful king, among them Krishnadev Raya is one of them. Krishnadev Raya and their opportunities we have discussed in my previous video. Today we will discuss about that the Mughal emperor and their courts and chronicles. Here, before we start this chapter, we have to understand about the resource. What is the meaning of resource? The chronicles, that is also the main resource to inform the history of the Mughal Empire. The foreign travelers account, Ralph Finch, John Maynard Hall, Father Louis, Francois Bernier, Manucci. There are so many foreign travelers who visit India during Mughal period and they want some relaxation. The Mughal period also famous for their trade. During that time, many foreigners and foreign companies reached India and established their factories. East India Company is one of them. Portuguese, British, French, Dutch, Danish, they reached India. They attracted the trades, they attracted the prosperity of India, and they want to establish their factory in India. They want to started the relation between India to their country. We lead also about them. So what the visitors wrote about here, what they felt here, what they observed in India in that time, they wrote in their accounts, and that is also the great resource to give us information. And some local documents which was wrote in the local rulers and their courts. With the help of that, we can understand the administration and the administrative system during Mughal period. We also, based on that accounts, we also based on that Kanakas, we also based on that local kings documents, the history of the land, I mean to say the revenue, collections, Mansabdari systems, social character of the Mughal Empire, religious character of the Mughal Empire, political scenario, everything we have clear information. On the basis of that account, we can say that the rulers they were famous their particular policies like Akbar. We will read in this chapter about Akbar, where we read the Sulehul policy. But before we start this, but these are all things we will discuss in this chapter. So let's start a topic that is kings and chronicles and the Mughal court 16th and 17th century. The monarch of the Mughal Empire saw themselves as the legitimate rulers as a large and a heterogeneous population. Although this grand vision was often the circumscribed by the actual political circumstances. It reminded important one way the transmitting the vision was through the writing of dynasties, the history, the Mughal kings commissioned court historians to write accounts of their achievements, of their opportunities. These accounts recorded the event of the emperor's time editions. Their writers collected a vast amount of the information from the regions of the subcontinent to help the rules with the domain. But I explained you that it is the interest of the Mughal rulers. They appointed the court historians to write about the day by day activities which happen in court, and court historians collected many more information from whole empire and they combined in the data. They combined in the accounts. It gives us many, very good information, actual information. But there were some limits of this. What was limits? When we discuss the Akbarnama, when we discuss the Basanama, we will easily understand the limitation of that accounts. But here we focus the important of that articles, which gives us the very important information. In this chapter, you can easily understand during the 15th century, the Mughal emperor, 16th century, 15th, 16th century, especially we can say the 16th century, when the Mughal emperor recognized himself as a powerful king in India, Hindustan, Babur, who was founder of Mughal dynasty, was founder of Mughal empire. But if you will read the history of Babur, you become God struck that the early life of Babur was very miserable. He was wanderer. He was moving one place to other place. His father, Umar Sheikh Mirza, was killed by their neighbors and his mother Kutluk Nigar Khan. He nurtured them. The very little bit I 9 years. There are so many responsibilities come on their soldiers, and he decided that at any rate, at any cost, I have to prove. And Baba always tried to prove himself. Baba was the very good military general. He involved himself in the various military activities, in crossed the boundaries, one place to other place. He gained many more experience of the fight, war, and then after gradually he became the very good warriors in the invitation of the Rana Sangha and Belu. And Lodi family, he came India. He decided to attack on India, attack on Hindustan. उसने हिंदुस्तान पे आक्रमण करने की बात सुनी 1526 बैटल ऑफ पानीपत फर्स्ट द बैटल ऑफ पानीपत बैटल ऑफ पानीपत 1526 he in the battle of Panipat he defeated the Sultanate of the Delhi Sultan Bahlul Lodi and he acquired the Delhi Sultanate. After that, he established their capital in Agra and he started to rule on India. Babar, their full name was Zahiruddin Muhammad Babar. He ruled in India 1526 to 1530. There were four important fight, important war, which was conquered by them. That was Panipat, Khanwa, two most important बैटल ऑफ पानीपत एंड बैटल ऑफ खानवा. इन दोनों लड़ाइयों में बाबर पानीपत में भारत की महत्वपूर्ण सल्तनत काल के शासक बेलू लोधी को पराजित करता है और यहाँ पे शासन करता है. यहाँ दिल्ली में अपनी सत्ता स्थापित कर लेता है, आगरा को अपनी राजधानी बनाता है और भारत में मुगल राजवंश की स्थापना करता है. इट मीन्स एस्टेब्लिश द मुगल डायनेस्टीज, मुगल एम्पायर लोधियों को भारत में पराजित करता है और इस तरीके से भारत में मुगल साम्राज्य की स्थापना. Here one more things which we have to discuss, the Mughal, the word Mughal. Mughal word कहाँ से? Mughal word को आप देखें तो मैंने कहा है word Mughal, the Mughal word comes from the Latin word Mong. Mong it means brave, bahadur. And some other historians believe that the Mughal word it was used by the foreign historians. They very much influenced the word Rudyard Kipling's novel, The Mowgli. So that's why they introduced them the Mughals. But I think that it is not the appropriate explanation of the word Mughal. The third that is very important, the concept according to historians, the Akbar from the paternal sides. Their father Umar Sheikh Mirza was the fifth generation of Taimur, and his mother Kutluk Nigar Khan was the 14th generation of the Mongols Genghis Khan. Even in the Mughal chronicles, the Mongols always explained as barbarians, but they recognize himself the name of the मंगोल्स उन्होंने अपने को मंगोल नाम से उन्होंने अपने नाम के अंत में मंगोल लगाया मंगोलों ने शासन किया फिर मंगोल से अपने को इंट्रोड्यूस किया बाद के इतिहासकारों ने फॉरेन हिस्टोरियंस ने इंडियन हिस्टोरियंस ने एक वर्ड दिया और वो वर्ड था मुगल और इस पूरी डायनेस्टी को मुगल डायनेस्टी आई थिंक देयर इज नो डाउट टू अंडरस्टैंड द नेम ऑफ द मुगल एंड हाउ कैन दे यूज्ड कैसे उन्होंने इसका इस्तेमाल किया कहां से उन्होंने इसको लिया अगेन आई remind you the first Mughal is the Latin word Mughal that comes from the Latin word Mong, it means Bahadur, brave, and second they took from the Mongols because their Mongols were their ancestors from their maternal sides. And third, the Rudyard Kipling's novel Mowgli, Jungle Book, where in the Jungle Book one character Mowgli, the foreign historians felt that that name was very common, so they give them name the Mughal. उन्होंने उसको नाम दे दिया बट ये सब क्लियर नहीं ये सब मुझे थर्ड कंसेप्ट सही नहीं लगता ये जो रुडयार्ड किपलिंग्स की बात करते हैं नाम कैसे दिया गया कहते हैं कि मुगल नाम मंगोलों से उत्पन्न द नेम मुगल derives from the Mongols through today the term evoked the grandeur of the empire. It was not the name of the rulers of the dynasties choose for themselves. They refer to themselves as Taimurids, as descendants of the Turkish ruler Taimur on the paternal side. Babur, the first Mughal ruler, was related to Genghis Khan from his mother's side. He spoke Turkish and referred the directly to the Mongol as barbaric horrors. It means again I inform you that Mughal rulers never introduced himself as a Mongol, as a Mughal. They always they always introduce himself as a Taimurids. It means the family of the Taimur. Because his father, Babur's father, Umar Sheikh Mirza belonged to Taimur family. Umar Sheikh Mirza was the fifth generation of the Taimur. So they always introduce himself as Taimur. But the later chronicles, but the later accounts in our history book also we read the Mughal dynasties. मुगल डायनेस्टी क्यों हुआ कैसे हुआ इसके बारे में चीजों को आप कर सकते हैं समझ सकते हैं यू कैन इजीली अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट आई एम सेइंग ड्यूरिंग द 16th century the European used the term Mughal to describe the Indian rulers of this branch of the family over the past century the word has been frequently used even the name Mowgli, the young hero of Rudyard Kipling's Jungle Book, is derived from it. The empire was carved out a number of the regional states of India through the conquest and politically alliance between the Mughals and the local chieftains. The founder of empire, the Jahiruddin Muhammad Babur, was derived from his central Asian homeland, Fargana, by the way, warring Uzbeks. He first established himself at Kabul and then 1526 pushed further into the Indian subcontinent in search of the territories and resources to satisfy the need of the member of his clan. His successor, Jahiruddin, Nasruddin Humayun, then after Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar, then after Nuruddin Muhammad Jahangir, and then after Sahabuddin Muhammad Shah Jahan and Muhyiddin Muhammad Aurangzeb. They were the prominent king in the Mughal dynasty, especially Jainuddin Muhammad Babur ruled 1526 to 1513 AD. In the very short periods, he died. Then after Nasiruddin Muhammad Humayun, 1530 to 14. But after war of the battle of the Bilgram, he defeated by Sher Shah and again he enthroned on the Delhi 1560 to 1500, 56 to 15, 55 to 56. After that, his son Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar, he enthroned on the Mughal 1556 to 1605, Nasruddin Muhammad Nuruddin Muhammad Jahangir 1605 to 1627-28, and Shahabuddin Muhammad Shah Jahan 1628 to 1658, and Nuruddin Muhammad Aurangzeb 1658 to 1707. They were very prominent, they were very powerful emperor in the Mughal dynasty. And then after 1707, we have read some other Mughal rulers. They called post Mughal rulers. Among them, the some important rulers name, that is the Bahadur Shah first. He was also known by Sahib Akbar. And then after Farooq Sihar, Jahadar Shah, Muhammad Shah Rangila, and last king, that was Bahadur Shah II, Bahadur Shah Jafar. He was emperor of the Hindustan during revolt 1857. फिर 1857 के बाद उसे भारत से बाहर निर्वासित कर दिया, एग्जाइल कर दिया. He spent their life in the exile. निर्वासन में अपने जीवन रंगून में गुजारते हैं रिवोल्ट के बाद. इस तरीके से बाबर की पूरी डायनेस्टी, बाबर के राज के बारे में ध्यान दें. उसके बाद सबसे महत्वपूर्ण सारे किंग्स में जो अपॉर्चुनिटीज है, स्पेशली जो इस बुक में पढ़े, अकबर एंड जहांगीर, एंड देन आफ्टर वी विल रीड अबाउट द अपॉर्चुनिटी ऑफ औरंगजेब. इनके बारे में हम स्पेशली फोकस करेंगे. इस चैप्टर क्या चीजें हैं, कौन कौन सी किताबें, एंड वॉज द मोर शाहजहां आल्सो. That is the prominent four kings we discuss in this chapter. Briefly, Aurangzeb, Akbar, Jahangir, Shah Jahan, and Aurangzeb. So let's start. The first king, that is Jainuddin Muhammad Baz, then after Nasruddin Muhammad Humayun, and then after Jalaluddin Muhammad Akbar. Here we have read about the Akbar and their policies, their religious policies, and their opportunities. How many states in the Akbar courts, Akbar Empire, and you have read, you are aware of that. In the court of Akbar, there are the 9 court members. They called Navrat. अकबर के दरबार के नवरत्न में बीरबल का नाम आपने सुना हो. यू आर फेमिलियर विद द नेम ऑफ बीरबल, यू आर फेमिलियर विद द नेम ऑफ तानसेन. 9 very intellectual and during that times famous poets, they were part of the Mughal. They were in the Akbar courts. अकबर के कोर्ट में ये लोग वर्ग के रूप में थे, इन्हें ही नवरत्न कहा. Many considered Jahangir, Akbar, 50s. Okay, come to in your book. I think the short history of the Mughal dynasty. His successors Nasruddin Humayun 1530 to 40 and then after 1556 to 56 they expanded the frontiers of the empire but lost it to the Afghans leader Syed Shah Suri who drove him into exile. Humayun took refuge in the court of the Safavid rulers of Iran. In 1555, Humayun defeated the Suris but died a year later. Many consider Jalaluddin Akbar 1556 to 1605 the greatest of all Mughal emperors for not only expanded but also consolidated the empire, making it the largest, strongest, and richest kingdom of his time. Akbar succeeded in extending the frontiers of the empire at the Hindu Kush mountains and checked the expansion design of the Uzbek of the Turan, Central Asia, and the Safavid of Iran. Akbar had three fairly able successors in Jahangir 1605 to 27, Shah Jahan 1628 to 1658, and the Aurangzeb 1658 to 77, which I mentioned, date and their names. And that is the very important things. The much as their character buried under them, the territorial, the expansion continued through the much reduced peace. The three rulers maintained and consolidated various instruments of the governance. In the Akbar Empire, there were how many states in the Akbar reign? Only the states which in the Akbar 15, then after 18. And Aurangzeb was 21 to 23. स्टेट्स अकबर के 15 थे, बाद में बीजापुर, खानदेश और अहमदनगर को मिलाकर के स्टेट की संख्या 18 हो गई, 18, और फिर औरंगजेब के समय राज्यों की संख्या 21 से 23 हो गई. इस तरीके से सबसे ज्यादा स्टेट्स औरंगजेब के समय. I want to inform you that after Akbar, the expansion of the Mughal Empire was continued. जारी था. औरंगजेब ने सबसे विशाल साम्राज्य विकसित किया मुगल डायनेस्टी से. अकबर ने एक महत्वपूर्ण और पावरफुल एम्पायर की स्थापना की. अकबर ने एक बड़े क्षेत्र को विजित किया. सीमा हिंदू कुश की पहाड़ी से लेकर के दक्कन तक के क्षेत्रों को उसने इन्वेट किया. बंगाल से लेकर गुजरात तक के इलाकों को उसने कब्जा किया. लेकिन उसके बाद भी उसके सक्सेसर्स में स्पेशली शाहजहां और औरंगजेब ने सीमा को और आगे बढ़ाई और स्टेट की संख्या 22 to 23. तो 21 especially here I mention not you can without any confusion 21 that is very important. Don't write. Don't mention the 22 or 23 because there are so many confusion. But 21 is clear. After 18 states, Aurangzeb what merged the three states others and the number of the states in the Mughal Empire that was 21. This is the very important things which you understand the administration of the Mughal. We read about the administration of Mughal after that. We also discuss about the chronicles which was wrote by the Mughal emperors in their court. But here we are discussing that during the 16th and 17th centuries, the institutions of an imperial structures were created. These includes the effective methods of the administrations and taxations. The visual center of Mughals' power was the court. Here, political alliance and the relationship were forged. Status and the heritage is defined. The political system devised by the Mughal was based on the combination of military power and conscious policy to accommodate the different traditions they encountered in the subcontinent. After 707, the following the death of Aurangzeb, the power of the dynasty, the diminished in the place of the vast apparatus of the empire controlled from Delhi, Agra, or Lahore, the different capital cities, the regional powers acquired greater autonomy. Yet symbolically, the prestige of the Mughal rulers did not last its aura. In 1857, the last Sigan of dynasties, Bahadur Shah Jaffar, was overthrown by the British. That is the whole story of the. It is the very short story of the मुगल डायनेस्टीज। हमने यहाँ देखा कि किस तरीके से मुगलों ने अपनी शासकता को स्थापित किया, साम्राज्य सीमा को बढ़ाई, मुगलों के राजवंश के लोगों ने अपने क्षेत्रों को जीत किया और फिर किस तरीके से उन लोगों ने अपने क्षेत्रों पर शासन किया। मुगल भारत में स्थापना की, लेकिन भारत में स्थापना के पहले यहाँ पे हिंदू बहुल पॉपुलेशन थी, विजातीय लोग थे, दे वर नॉट द इक्वल रिलीजन इन इंडिया व्हेन द मुगल कॉन्कर्ड। मुगलों ने भारत को जीता उस इवन सल्तनत पीरियड में वी हैव सीन देयर कि जब इल्तुतमिश से उसका वजीर कहता है कि हमें हिंदुस्तान को दारुल इस्लाम में चेंज कर देना चाहिए, दारुल हर्ब से दारुल इस्लाम बना देना चाहिए, इल्तुतमिश डिनाइड एंड ही सेड दैट हिंदुस्तान इज हिंदुस्तान, वी कैन नॉट चेंज फ्रॉम दारुल हर्ब टू दारुल इस्लाम। दारुल हर्ब से दारुल इस्लाम में परिवर्तन नहीं करता, एंड दैट पॉलिसी आल्सो इम्प्लीमेंटेड इन द मुगल एम्पायर। Babur aware of that, the numerous people they belong to the Hindu religion, so that's why they cannot convert it. And in the period of Akbar, we have seen the Sulaiman policy, that is a secular policy. Akbar always considered that no one rights violated by state on the basis of religion. उसने धर्म के आधार पर किसी भी व्यक्ति के, किसी भी नागरिक के अधिकारों के, राइट्स के खिलाफ उसने चीजों पर हमेशा ध्यान दिया। इस तरीके से ये पूरी राज्य की सत्ता, राज्य के इतिहास को। नेक्स्ट टॉपिक हम पढ़ेंगे द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ द क्रॉनिकल्स। आज के लिए इतना ही। ओके, गुड बाय।